We never know the joys, surprises, and challenges life will bring. Many of us here are drawn together because we know a person who has a chronic illness and are trying to learn as much as possible about treatment options. This is certainly our case, as my husband Scott and I are trying to educate ourselves about his options for a new kidney, and we, along with you, will be listening to what each of the speakers have to say today. My husband Scott, who became a Donate Life ambassador to increase our community's awareness of the importance of being an organ donor, will introduce our speakers. Scott?
The next speaker is a friend of mine who I've known for a while, and then a few years ago he had a chance conversation with a coworker and said, "Take my kidney, I have two." So, Randy.
Thank you. I get to really validate everything that's been set up here already. But my story actually starts about 22 years ago when my daughter was born. I was a casual blood donor before that. But she came early and needed some help in the neonatal center and needed some blood transfusions. And I figured, there's people that donate strictly to that pool. So I stepped it up. I started doing more regularly scheduled blood donations. I ended up switching over to platelets, so I do that fairly often. And then I was touched by a story of a young boy about probably 12 years ago. Chris Messier was about 10 years old at the time and lived in our neighborhood, and he needed a bone marrow transplant. I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know what? I would definitely do that. I signed up, wasn't a match, but at least it got me thinking about doing something like that going forward. In the meantime, I kept doing the platelets. And then the spinning instructor at work, at the club I work out with, he signed up to be a part of his liver transplant, and to somebody he didn't know. And it turned out in his case, he actually had the operation, but they realized it wasn't going to work, so he didn't have the donation, and he felt like a failure. And I said, Pete, my gosh, you stepped up in a big way. So that kind of reinforced my connection. If I ever had the opportunity to do that, I would definitely do that. So 5 years ago, I'm working at Santa Barbara Bank and Trust, going through the branch. I do community relations. I go to all the branches. And it's Friday afternoon, and I say to this young lady, my colleague, "Hey, Pinedos, what a great day, huh?" She goes, "It would only be better if I had a kidney." I said, "Really? You kidding me?" I had to think for a second. I wasn't sure. I wasn't too sharp with science. I wasn't sure if I had 2 kidneys and 1 liver, or 2 livers and 1 kidney. Whatever I had extra, she could have. So I say, I have one. Do you want it? She goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." So it turned out that we were a perfect match. Only, it was a little humbling because I was, at the time, just thought I could just donate a kidney. Well, I was overweight, and I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, so it took me about a year to get in shape. I had to get focused, and it took me about 6 months to get focused, and then I was in the best shape of my life. So what I'm going to give you now are the top 10 things you should know about organ donations from a donor. Consider it true confessions right here. Number 10, it's not a big deal, okay? As Dr. Wood said before, it's laparoscopic surgery. I got 4 little bullet holes and a little bikini cut. I was in the hospital on Friday. I got out Sunday. I was back to work part-time on Tuesday. No scar, quick recovery time. I just felt kind of sore, like I'd done a lot of sit-ups. The one thing I heard the most was the catheter coming out of the surgery. I told Dr. Fuchs, "I don't care what you do, just take the catheter out," which I think helped me because it got me up and walking around sooner. Okay, that's number 10. Number 9, great way to lose weight and improve health. I had to lose 35 pounds. It took me 6 months to do it. I just read about a woman who lost 165 pounds to donate to her brother. That was incredible. Number 8, rock star treatment. Somebody said that before. I got all kinds of testing. I got a colonoscopy. The room at Cedars-Sinai's hospital was like humongous. I had a living room and a kitchenette and a big bathroom. So I said to the nurse, I said, "Hey, what's up with the room?" And she says, "We treat our donors like rock stars." Really felt incredible. One funny story, I was going out for my colonoscopy, and I'm in the waiting room, and I see a picture of some magazines, and Barbra Streisand right on the cover right there, and she's a big benefactor to Cedars. And I put it down, and I look up, James Brolin is sitting right in front of me. Could not believe it. Number 7, it's always humbling and sometimes very embarrassing on the reactions you get from people. We've been touched by a lot of heartfelt comments and how our very private gift got public and really touched people in a big way. You know, I got out of the hospital on a Monday. That Wednesday night, I was being inducted onto the Symphony Board of Directors. Lisa helped make that happen. And all the Symphony people had these green ribbons that had been given out of the bank that had my name and Catherine's name on them. And so I always thought that was really cool. And then one woman didn't hear the story. So Jillian, who's the board president, tried to explain to her. Jillian's a very proper English woman, older woman. And when she started telling the story, she started crying. And I was like, whoa. That was kind of weird for me, because it was kind of surreal. But it made me realize the impact it was on others. Number 6, there's no noticeable difference at all. I probably eat healthier, I drink more water, I try to be careful, I actually treat myself better. And I tell people as well that I think by giving away my kidney, I've reduced the chance of getting kidney stones by 50%. Number 5, I have a new life perspective. I've done things now that I've kind of dreamed about but never took a step. I do races, I've done triathlons, I love ocean swimming. In fact, at my 2-year checkup, the doctor said to me, Randy, this is your last one. What are you going to say? I said, you know, Doc, I got to tell you, I've done so many things in the last 2 years since I gave my kidney away. I never realized how much the old ones hold me back. Number 4, good karma. Real or imagined, I think you get so much more back when there's no expectation at all. I mean, my life has been truly blessed. People have been very kind. I've got all kinds of awards which I give away immediately. I gave the awards to Catherine, my colleague, to share with her kids later on down the road so that they might do something as well. But seeing her healthy and enjoying life is really the best part of it. Number 3, you impact countless lives. Dialysis is horrible, as you just heard. You actually cut the cords of the dialysis machine, and it's almost akin to giving birth. You give people freedom. Catherine, my recipient, is now living her dream. She has a little baby girl, and when I tell people that, they look at me kind of funny, and they say, whoa, I just gave her the kidney. She was on her own after that. Number 2, your story might help pay it forward, like it helped me with others before me. I've had the chance to mentor a couple people. John in Houston went through surgery to give to a colleague. Judy in Florida gave it to her son in Denver. And, it's just really very special to help other people go through and share my story. It truly is a gift that gives every day. And number 1, the best thing, it will be the best thing ever to do for yourself and for your recipient. Catherine says I saved her life, but I look back, I was not on a good path at that point in time, and it gave me a chance to kind of recalibrate, and it was like a wake-up call. And it was the best thing I ever did for her, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself. I just think the human body and human spirit is amazing. Giving life is easier when you think about it. Blood, platelets, even organs. If you wait for DMV to come by and get your organs at the end, you're missing a whole beautiful opportunity to give to other people in a very special way. People still kid me right now and say they want my other kidney. I said they can have it, but just not yet. The bottom line, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And if I could, I'd do it for you, Scott, but I can't. So maybe one of you can do it or help spread the message. Thank you.